Hey guys, it's Kim Jong-Spoon. Welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you 3 separate Tier 10 games in 3 separate Tier 10 tanks. So the first game here is in my British Tier 10 medium, the FE4202. Sebastian 1145 and I are platooned up in our 4202s. This is the tank that I've played the most out of all the tanks in my garage. I have like 580 games or something in it. So I know this tank pretty well. It's not the strongest Tier 10 medium because it's slow and it doesn't have heat shells, and this leopard doesn't know how to drive, but it does have HESH shells, and HESH shells are basically HE with loads of penetration, so it is very helpful if you get the side of enemy tanks to use HESH, and you can do like loads of damage, loads of module damage, you get ammo racks, you get engine fires, it's a lot of fun. So Sebastian is pushing up to the hill, but I know that I'm probably not going to help him on the hill, because the hill's not that big and there's not a whole lot of places where I can shoot, so I'm not going to be too useful up there, so I'm going to go to the waterfall. The waterfall is really risky, because like if there's an enemy tank or a couple of enemy tanks at the waterfall with you, then it's basically just like a one-on-one gunfight DPM battle, and if you lose, you lose. So I basically waited until the enemy tanks were spotted. I did have like a long drive over so I could see if someone was spotted over by this waterfall, and they weren't, so I felt that was pretty safe to go over here. And now that I'm over here, I feel pretty safe taking shots at these guys. I backed up to the wrong way, like I should have turned around and put my turret forward, because the turret is like really towards the front of this tank, but we try to get a shot on the E75 and we bounce. We do put a HESH shell into that leopard for 435 damage. This is a 105 mil gun, and we did 120 mil gun damage there. So that just shows the power of HESH shells against lightly armored tanks. And now we're going to plug away at this T62A. And right now, I'm just making sure that one tank can shoot me at a time. If I back up anymore, then the other tanks that are kind of still towards the enemy team spawn side could shoot at me as well, and I'm making sure that this T62A can't spot me. If he does spot me, I'm going to pull him to cover. But this guy's, he's kind of an idiot, because he's sitting there in the open, taking shots, and shooting at an AFK tank. Like, if there's an AFK tank, you don't shoot at him while non-AFK tanks are shooting at you. Like, that's just stupid. Like, you shoot the tanks that can fight back, and then you fight the guys that can't. But he decided to take a bunch of shots at that E75, and now he's on like a one-shot for it, so mistakes were made there. We put in a huge shell to the Jagdpanzer E100, again switching to HESH, and so when this guy pops around, I'm going to put more shots into him too. We shoot the dirt there, and right now, this is like the weakness of the 4202. If this guy hadn't have turned, we would not have been able to pen him, and we still don't pen him. But if we had fired APCR there, we easily would have penned him. But if he just faces us, there's no way we can possibly pen his superstructure or his upper plate, because it only has like 268 mils of penetration on this APCR round. If you don't have heat, you're not going to be able to pen a lot of these tanks. And really, again, that's like one of the biggest downsides to the FE4202. If I was playing this in the E50M, sure I wouldn't have done as much damage to the Leopard or to the side of that Jagdpanzer E100, but at least I would have done, at least I can damage him when they're facing me, because I can just load heat and put it through the superstructure. E100 hits our tracks, luckily. I was being a little stupid there and staying out in the open, but now they know there's only 2 enemy tanks left, so I'm just going to push up and kill this E100. I've had problems 1v1ing E100 in this before. When I was doing this, it reminded me of like one of my most disgraceful moments in World of Tanks Blitz. This was in a really earlier video, like almost a year ago, I guess, where I was in the 4202, 1v1ing an E100. I'd done like 6,000 damage, and he was on like a 2-shot, and I lost. So I'm going to put the link to that video in the description, but I was really hoping I didn't die here. And luckily, he was focused on someone else, so we do get the win. And again, I didn't do a whole lot of like crazy skill moves, but I did pick up 4,000 damage, as you'll see here in the post-game stats, because I just plugged away at people that were shooting at like AFK E75s, and I utilized HESH shells a couple times. So that just shows you how powerful the FE4202 can be, especially in platoons where Sebastian can distract them and I can put HESH shells into their side. So in the second game here, Sebastian 1145 and I are platooned up in our heavy hitters. He's in his Jagdpanzer E100. I'm in the Tier 10 British tank destroyer, the FE215B 183. This is one of my favorite tanks because it basically just ruins people's day. This is the largest caliber gun in the game, if you didn't know. It has the longest reload in the game for a non-auto loader as well, so it kind of sucks to miss a shot and you're sitting there for 19 seconds reloading. I do have like a 100% crew and everything on this thing, so the 19-second reload is about as good as you're going to get. And we're pushing up to Cap C here. I put one AP shell into this Leopard. I do have HESH on this thing as well. The British are the only nation to use HESH shells, but I did not use a HESH shell there because he was pulling behind a hill and I saw his turret mostly, and if I'd put a HESH shell into his turret, then it would have hit his gun mantlet and not penetrated. So Basically, Hesh shells penetrate the first layer of armor and then detonate, and then if there's a second layer of armor behind that, if there's any spaced armor, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So I might have done like 500 damage. So I did 1,000 damage with an AP round instead, which is much better. So again, Seb and I are here on this Supremacy game mode on Oasis Palms, and we've taken Cap C, they're taking Cap A, they're basically all in the town, and our tanks, as you can see in the minimap, are spread out over a really long line here. I take a Hesh shell to the side. I think that was from the 183 that's sitting in the town. There's actually 2 183s on their team, so I actually didn't look too close at the teams there, so I saw the 183 and I was like, okay, we're good, I can push up, and then the 183 in the town hit me. So in this thing you do have to be very careful because you have a really inaccurate gun with a super long aim time and a super long reload, so if you screw up, mistakes. I see him, I put one shot into him, and then I back up really quickly because I don't want to take another Hesh round. He can kill me right now fairly easily with an AP round, and I really don't want to die. So basically I'm just sitting on my reload behind this hill. There's no point in me exposing myself while I'm reloading because I can't fight back. I see this IS-7 here, and he's like tucked behind the rock pretty well, so I'm just going to wait for another enemy tank to walk into the line of fire. We load the Hesh round. We plug it into the side of the SB1 for 1,471 damage. We did set him on fire there as well, so that's like one of the highest rolls you're ever going to get with a Hesh round. Sebastian 1145 is almost dead here. He just has the last smidgens of his health left. So I kind of need to start taking some hits, but then again I don't have any armor. So we surprisingly bounce a shot, and then we bounce a shot off the gun mantlet of the IS-7. So we're not having too good of a battle right now. We haven't done a whole lot of damage. We've only put 3 shots in, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's like 4,000 damage, maybe 3,500. So this tank, you only have to do a couple shots, and you know, every single shot matters because you pen a shot. That's the difference between 3,000 damage and 4,000 damage. That might be the difference between your team winning and losing. We finish off the IS-7 there with a well-placed AP round, and this kind of shows one of the downfalls of this tank, other than the super long reload, the super long aim time, the low health, and the no armor. And that this tank only carries 12 rounds, and I have had games where I've run out of AP. I've had loads of games where I've run out of AP rounds, and I've had to switch to Hesh on tanks that you can't pen with Hesh. We try to pen that mouse with Hesh, but it looks like we won't be able to. So we just plug in 1,000 damage to his rear. I've had so many 1,000 damage shots recently. Before the update, I don't know if it's something to do with the update or it's just confirmation bias, but before the update I rarely had 1,000 damage hit with an AP round, but I've had so many of them recently. I don't think they buffed it, but I guess I'm just having better luck. We see the mouse again. We try to slither our last AP round into the side of his turret. We miss, unfortunately, and now we are out of armor-piercing rounds. So we only have HE and Hesh. They both do the same amount of damage, just one has significantly higher penetration than the other. Now, fortunately for us, all of the other tanks on the enemy team that are left on this side have very low HP, so all we have to do is just load HE and hit them, and we kill them. Basically, it's a guaranteed kill. We could hit a mouse with an HE shell, and it would kill them every time if they're on 200 HP. So these HE shells are very big, very powerful. The only difference between the 2 HE shells we have here is one has more penetration and is significantly more expensive. So if we have to pen someone with Hesh, we will, but if we don't have to, then I'm just going to shoot a HE at them. Seb kills the SB1 with an HE round. Then he takes a bounce from the E50M, and we're backing up. I really don't want to take a hit from that E50M, and we see the Death Star is side onto us, which is convenient. So we pull the trigger with a Hesh round, easily pen 780 damage, which is pretty good. If he hadn't taken that hit beforehand, we still would have killed him, we just would have done more damage. So it's kind of unfortunate for us, but now there's just the E50M left. I know he's on like 200 HP. I'm just going to load HE and kill him anyway. And if you look at the Supremacy like counter at the very top, we're going to win this anyway. I pull the trigger and it hits the dirt, but we get those 1,000 points, so we win. Yay! And that's what I kind of hate about Supremacy is, you know, there's one tank left. Can we just kill him, please? Like, I get that we can cap to win, but capping to win super lame. So 6,000 damage, high caliber, second class, Confederate, only 18,000 credits because we dumped a bunch of Hesh, but yeah, that was a pretty good game, and this shows just how hard it is to ace tank, to get an ace tanker in the 183. You need honestly like 10,000 damage. Like, it's ridiculous. You have to be spotting your own targets, you need to get like 3,000 spotting damage, and you need to get like 10,000 damage. This thing is so hard to get an ace tanker in. It's kind of ridiculous. It's very much like the American light tanks currently in that respect, in that it's almost impossible to ace. I did get an ace in the T-71, and you'll see some T-71 footage coming up soon. For our last game here, we're back on Oasis Palms, but we are in the E50M. This is the Tier 10 German medium tank. And just like last game, Sebastian and I are platooned up, and we're going to push towards this northeastern side of the map, or sorry, the southeastern side of the map. But this is not supremacy mode, so we can't just sit here, cap C, and then take pot shots at them. They have the only cap on their side, but fortunately for us, the cap is really exposed, and if they tried to do like a fast cap or something, we just zoom around their flanks and kill them. So we're pushing them very cautiously. See the T-54, and right now we basically know that the enemy team isn't coming this way. We've confirmed that they're going to the town, and this T-54 is stock, so I'm not super concerned, but I don't want to poke out too much and have like an E-100 sitting over there, something stupid, plugging away at me. So we see their E-100 is, it kind of looks like he's AFK. Turns out that he isn't, but yeah, I don't want to take shots from this guy. So we plug in our first shot into that E-100. He's just getting destroyed right now, 1,300 damage. Bad luck for him. We try to see if we can get another shot on him. No such luck, so we hit the FE215B 183. We'll push up a little bit more. Again, I want to be super cautious here because I really don't want to take a surprise hit from someone. And this gun's kind of accurate, so we slither a shot over the hill and hit the very top of his commander's hatch. That was such a stupid shot. Like, I've taken too many of those shots recently where I'm like, oh my god, I see the top half a centimeter of their commander's hatch, pull the trigger. But luckily for us, that one actually hit and pen, so yay. We see the Leopard, we track him. It doesn't look like he wants to stay there too much longer, so he uses his repair kit and bugs out. We see the mouse, we plug away at him, and this ridgeline right here is just tall enough where it hides my hull, but there's all these little divots in it where I can push my turret over and take shots at these guys. So I see the Leopard again. I really want him to come forward, and lucky for us, he does. So right as we reloaded, he pulled over around the building, and we got the kill on him. So I see the IS-7. I see the mouse. There's a T-57 Heavy somewhere. Haven't really seen him yet. So we're going to take one shot at the I-7, we pen him. This gun is really like a laser cannon. The German tanks just have fantastic accuracy in the higher tiers. You can see that in the medium line, you can see that in their tank destroyer line. The heavy line, not so much, but heavy tanks don't need accuracy because they have armor. Not really. But we plug one more shot into the I-7. We see the T-57 Heavy. It looks like that was the T-57 Heavy shooting at us, shooting his APCR rounds. So we know he has 2 rounds left. We hit him again. I don't think he shot there. We really got to count the autoloaders rounds. Like, if you count their rounds, then you can easily figure out when they're reloading. Like, there's been so many times I've been in the T-71 and I'm out of rounds, but I pretend like I'm not, and people just don't attack me. But if they were counting, they would know that I'm out. Either they don't know that it only has 3 rounds, or they just weren't counting. So you see the T-57 Heavy. It looks like he's on a reload. We hit him again on the move, which was kind of a BS shot. And now we're going to hide behind this rock, kind of side scrape. He pushes forward a little bit. We slither a shot right underneath his turret. If we had fired a half a second sooner, we easily would have hit that. But he pulls forward a little bit more. We take his tracks off, and he's very dead. He's very exposed, and there's like 6 tanks shooting at him. Except there's 3, because there's only 3 alive. So we see the mouse again, put one more shot into him, and the entire game so far, no one has really contested us. No one's really taken shots at us, other than that one T-57 Heavy and the at the very beginning of the game with the T-54. So we see the I-7 coming up to us, but I'm not going to fight him because I know he can't pen my upper plate. So I'm going to load a heat round and be cheeky and kill the mouse, completely ignoring him as he bounces off my upper plate. So that was kind of a cheeky move. We get the kill on him as well, 4 kills, and easy win for us. Right there, me fighting the mouse instead of the IS-7, I kind of felt like a jerk, but I mean, I wanted both kills, and I got both kills. So, ace tanker for me, high caliber, top gun, and mousetrap, which I didn't know was a thing. So we got almost 5k damage, 1,500, almost 1,600 base XP for that, 40,000 credits. And what really gave us ace tanker was the 3,000 spotting damage we did. So even if you're not a light tank, you can do spotting damage. I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 replays showing you some of my favorite tier 10 tanks in the game. These recorded in Platoon with Sebastian 1145. Hopefully he can start recording soon. We're trying to work that out so we can get some split screen live gameplays. If you want to see a tank featured on this channel, please let us know in the comments and we'll try to accommodate if we have the tank. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below and stay tuned for more awesome tank videos. Thanks.